Do you know that in today's interconnected world, a new malware strain is created every 4.2 seconds? This relentless pace of cyber threats emphasizes the urgent need for advanced cybersecurity measures. It's a reminder of the escalating challenges in our digital world. Luckily, artificial intelligence is on the rise, finding its implementation in every field, and cybersecurity is no exception. In fact, AI and cybersecurity are considered two of the fastest growing fields, driving innovation and shaping the future of technology. That is why we welcome you to this comprehensive guide on applying artificial intelligence and cybersecurity together to strengthen our defenses in this new artificial intelligence era. But before we explore all the topics that we will cover in the course, let's take a moment to introduce ourselves. My name is Alexa. I'm an ethical hacker with years of experience in the penetration testing and cybersecurity field. As a best-selling author in ethical hacking, my goal has always been to contribute to the collective understanding of cybersecurity.
And my name is Luca. I am recognized as one of 150 machine learning experts in the world by Google developers, and I've been in AI industry for past 8 years, currently finishing PhD in applied artificial intelligence as well. I had privilege in my career to work for many different startups, smaller or bigger ones, helping millions of users with AI technology along the way. I love teaching, and that's why I'm here, helping you understand these concepts as well and connect them with cybersecurity. And why do we need to learn artificial intelligence for cybersecurity, and what we will cover in this course together? Well, as Alexa previously mentioned, these are the two fastest growing fields today. And due to the cybersecurity field constantly evolving and new threats emerging every single day, we need to leverage the use of AI to sift through vast amounts of data in order to identify abnormal behavior and detect malicious activities and threats much faster. Over the next few sections, we will delve into the dynamic intersection of artificial intelligence and cybersecurity, exploring key topics and define this rapidly evolving field.
Our journey begins with a deep dive into leveraging ChatGPT for cybersecurity and ethical hacking. We'll uncover the pivotal role AI plays in these practices, exploring topics such as introduction to prompt engineering, few-shot prompting, chain of thought prompting, and delving into the advanced functionalities of ChatGPT, including data analysis, DALL-E, and plugins. Additionally, we'll address critical concerns such as understanding how companies may leak data to ChatGPT and strategies to prevent such occurrences, and many more.
From there, we'll step into the new age of social engineering with AI, understanding how artificial intelligence is reshaping the landscape. Here we will cover techniques such as voice cloning with various techniques, enabling realistic voice replicas, and creating deepfakes, unveiling the complexity of manipulating media content. Additionally, we'll investigate the intriguing concept of writing emails in my style, showcasing that AI role is mimicking writing styles for potential image security challenges. This segment equips participants with insights to navigate the evolving landscape of AI-driven social engineering threats.
As we progress, we'll answer the question: where is AI used in cybersecurity today? This will provide us with a panoramic view of the current applications and impacts across diverse cybersecurity domains. Our practical coding sessions include building an email filtering system and a phishing detection system with AI. This hands-on experience will equip you with skills essential for safeguarding against phishing attacks by leveraging artificial intelligence.
Transitioning to our next module, we will explore the impact of AI on network security. Here, artificial intelligence becomes a key player in fortifying network security, focusing on threat detection and prevention. We'll start with the basics, like introduction to network security and traditional detection and prevention systems. Then we'll get into interesting part. We'll simplify the whole thing by implementing logistic regression algorithm for network monitoring. Following that, we will delve into AI for malware detection and critical components in our cybersecurity arsenal.
But it's not all sunshine. We'll also examine the other side of the coin with security risks in artificial intelligence, understanding potential challenges, and strategies to mitigate them. We will talk about key topics such as, for example, data poisoning. This is where we will examine the manipulation of data inputs. We will also mention data bias, which is shedding light on the challenges of biased data sets. Additionally, we will explore the concept of adversarial attacks, understanding how AI models can be deceived. Ethical concerns surrounding AI will also be in focus, allowing us to build a comprehensive understanding of the potential pitfalls in this dynamic landscape.
Towards the end of our journey, we'll include two valuable appendix sections. The first one covers cybersecurity fundamentals, tailored for those new to the field. And the second one provides the artificial intelligence primer for those new to AI, setting the stage for comprehensive understanding of its integration with cybersecurity. So get ready for an exciting expedition into the world of AI in cybersecurity, from ChatGPT for ethical hacking to network security challenges and AI risks. We are set for a knowledge-packed journey. Alright, no more delays, let's dive right in. See you in the course.
Hello everyone, excited to have you on board for our AI in Cybersecurity course. Before we get our hands dirty with all the exciting things that we will learn, let's quickly dive into how we will navigate through this learning adventure. Our course is designed with everyone in mind. Whether you are a professional or a beginner or an intermediate, we've got you covered. There is something for everyone. If you're new to cybersecurity or artificial intelligence, fear not. We've created two special appendix sections just for you. They serve as a friendly introduction to the basics, ensuring everyone starts on the same page. Appendix sections are not necessary to go through. If you are more experienced in cybersecurity and artificial intelligence, feel free to just go through the course content without the appendix sections. However, if you are a beginner who is starting from scratch, it might be better to first cover either cybersecurity appendix or AI appendix or both of them. Now, when it comes to hands-on coding sessions and practical lessons, we decided to make things as hands-on and practical as possible, so we set up Google Colab notebooks for coding exercises. It's where we'll get our hands dirty applying artificial intelligence in our cybersecurity tools. Now, another thing I want to point out is that we divided all the lectures into 3 separate parts. What do I mean by that? Well, as you know by now, this course covers both practical and theoretical knowledge within the lectures. But there might be people who just want to learn theory, or perhaps they only want to go through the practical part of the course. Or most of you will most likely want to go through the entire course covering both theoretical and practical part. That is why we labeled all the lectures with one of 3 different letters: A, T, or P. A stands for all, and it is for students who want to follow everything, which will be most of the students. T stands for theory, and it is for students only interested in covering theory lectures. And P is for practical or programming lectures, which are for students interested in coding projects only and in practical sessions with ChatGPT or other AI tools. Feel free to choose your own path. I advise going for A, which is covering all the lectures, since only like that you get the complete picture of AI in cybersecurity. And one more thing I want to mention is that learning is a journey, and questions are a part of the ride. If you've got any doubts, thoughts, or just want to chat, head over to the Q&A section. It's your space to engage with instructors and fellow learners, making learning a collaborative experience. And in a nutshell, this course is not just about knowledge. It's about hands-on experience and community learning. So buckle up, explore the appendices if you're new, dive into the practicals on Google Colab, and remember, our Q&A is open for all of your questions. Let us not make this any longer and let the learning begin. Do you perhaps know what is the number one cyber attack on the internet? Well, let me give you a hint. It is the name of this lecture. That's right, social engineering and phishing present the number one threat today online, with millions of phishing attempts being executed every single day. But why exactly is that the case? Well, to understand that, we must first know what is the definition of a vulnerability. A vulnerability, in the context of computer security and cybersecurity, refers to a weakness or flaw in a system's design, implementation, or configuration that could potentially be exploited by an attacker to compromise the integrity, availability, or confidentiality of that system. But vulnerability is not only found in software. It is in fact much more common in humans. People can be tricked and exploited much easier than you would exploit a software. Imagine this. You're hired to hack into a big company that invests millions of dollars into their security features. They have all the latest antiviruses, intrusion detection and prevention systems, best firewalls, and firewall configurations. It would be quite hard to hack into something like that, right? You would have to find bugs or software vulnerabilities in one of their systems which are constantly being patched, plus you would have to evade all the security measures afterwards. That would be quite some work, right? Well, this company has employees as well. These employees work on the computers that are in the company's network behind all the security measures protecting them from online threats. Exploiting one of the employees, or in other words, social engineering them into running something that they shouldn't or giving information that they shouldn't, would be considered a far easier task in many cases. Once an employee opens a phishing email, for example, they could be downloading a malware which then infects other devices on the network and compromises all the confidential data. What is the use of all the up-to-date security features that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to set up and even more to maintain if one of the employees willingly gives away their password to the attacker thinking they are colleagues, or if they execute a malicious program from the attachments of an email thinking that it is a legit software coming from their boss, for example? That is where the power of social engineering and phishing is. So now that we know this, let us define social engineering and phishing. We can say that social engineering is a broader term that encompasses a range of techniques used to manipulate individuals or organizations into divulging confidential information, performing actions, or making security mistakes. It often involves exploiting human psychology and trust. Phishing is a specific type of social engineering attack that typically occurs through electronic communication. It involves sending deceptive messages via email, text messages, or instant messaging. The attacker impersonates a trusted entity or organization, such as a bank or an online service provider, and lures the recipient into taking certain actions, such as clicking on malicious links that lead to fraudulent websites designed to steal login credentials and personal information, or downloading and opening malicious attachments which may contain malware or, for example, ransomware. Always remember that people are the biggest security weaknesses and they can easily be exploited. That is why phishing is the number one threat today. Let us name some of the most common types of phishing attacks. First one would be phishing over email. This one is something that most of us have encountered at some point in time. Usually an attacker would send you an email requesting some sensitive information or trying to trick you into downloading a malicious software which would then grant access to the attacker to your device. An attacker in this case would most likely impersonate someone you know, perhaps your boss, your friend, or family member, because those are the people you would trust more than some random stranger sending you an email. If the email is spoofed properly and if the email is written well, it might end up tricking you into thinking that the email is actually coming from your boss. Now, nobody wants to go against their boss, so you would most likely end up doing what the email tells you to do. These phishing emails usually have a sense of urgency to make you execute stuff faster, so you would have less time to process whether the email is real or fake. AI can be used to write these types of emails. And with the latest tools, it is actually being proven that it is far more efficient in writing phishing emails than a regular person would. Remember, it's all about exploiting trust. Another example of social engineering where AI will take over is voice calls. You can call company staff and pretend to be someone that you are not. If you end up gaining their trust over the call, they might give away some sensitive information which can be used for conducting an attack. This information does not necessarily have to be passwords for their accounts, but it can be something as simple as telling you which version of firewall they use. Or perhaps where exactly is the server room located in the building, or by what vendor are the security cameras that they have. This type of information, if asked for properly, might not sound alarming to them, but for you, they might be the only thing you need to be able to conduct your attack. Now, AI is going to elevate these types of attacks to the next level. With different AI tools, we can do both voice cloning, and we can even create a fake video of a person appearing to talk and say things that they never said in their own voice. Scary, isn't it? Now, this isn't too realistic for now, but in the near future, this is going to be quite a big security threat, and it is going to cause a lot of trust issues since it will be quite hard to distinguish real videos from fake ones. So, in other words, AI has taken traditional phishing attacks such as sending phishing email or calling company staff over phone to a much more advanced level, and so far the best counter threat to this is to constantly educate your employees about the current threats so that if someone calls them over voice call and the voice on the other end sounds exactly like their boss, they should not immediately act upon what is told to them over the phone before double checking it, especially if the action that they are requested to perform sounds suspicious. Alright, now we will talk about phishing in more details later in the course, but for now on, it's important that you understand what social engineering and phishing is. So let's take a look at how all of the things that we talked about in this lecture look like in practice. Welcome back. So in the last lecture, we talked about social engineering and phishing, and we mentioned some of the ways that AI can affect social engineering. One of those ways was voice cloning. So right now, let us see a practical example of that. Let's see how we can integrate artificial intelligence in order to clone my own voice and make it say whatever I want it to say. Now for this, we're going to use a tool called 11 Labs, which you can find at the link of 11labs.io. Now this is not a free tool, but it does offer a free trial where you can test some of its options. So before we even open it, let's mention what this tool does. 11 Labs uses advanced AI technology to generate high-quality spoken audio in any voice, style, or language. So let's give it a try. Let's click on the 11 Labs link. And here you will have an option to either sign in or sign up. Now, since I already have an account, I will go and sign in. For you, you can simply just create a new account by clicking on this button. I will log in just a second. And here it is. This is the page that it opens up after we log in. If it doesn't open this page, you can simply just click on speech synthesis and it will load this page. Alright, so we have two options here. We have text-to-speech and speech-to-speech. Now, text-to-speech is converting text into lifelike speech using a voice of your choice. And speech-to-speech is creating speech by combining the style and content of an audio file that you provide this tool with that has your own voice. So these are the two available options. Now, for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to use text-to-speech since I'd rather just type in the text that I want my voice to pronounce. And for anyone that uses the free trial of this tool, these settings will be available for you, so you can just click on settings and you can choose whichever voice you want the text to be pronounced in. So you can, for example, choose George. Here you have the description of the voice. So if I select George, under the voice settings, we can change the stability, clarity, and style exaggeration, but I'm going to leave it on default for now. And under the models to use, I'll just go with the default one, which is this one right here. And here we can type any text that we want. So let's just type one sentence. Hello, today is a very nice day. Let's click on generate.
Hello, today is a very nice day.
And it generated this sentence in George's voice. So let's listen to it again.
Hello, today is a very nice day.
Quite cool, isn't it? We made some random voice say whatever we want. But we want to go a step further. I want to clone my own voice. I want to see how realistic will it sound. Now, unfortunately, this is not available in the free trial, but let me just show you how it looks like. So to clone my own voice, I will go on Add Voice, and if you subscribe to the 11 Labs, you will have this option to generate a new voice or to clone your own. See, right here I already tested it twice, so let's do it for the third time, just so you can see how it looks like. I click on Add Generative or Clone Voice, and here I have several options. Now, the one that I'm interested in is the instant voice cloning. This will clone my voice instantly. It only asks for several samples of my voice, and it will clone my voice, which then I will be able to use. However, there is also professional voice cloning. This takes a bit of time, so you provide it with much more samples of your voice, and you have to wait for a few weeks before they send you the replica of your voice. Now, of course, we're not going to be waiting for a few weeks, so let's just go with instant voice cloning. This one, however, will not be nearly as good as the professional voice cloning, but let's just see how it looks like. I'll click on instant voice cloning. I'll give it a name, so let's call it Alexa 3. Because I will be cloning my own voice, keep in mind that if you're cloning a voice, make sure that it's either your voice or a voice that you have permission to clone. You should not be using anyone's voice who did not give you the permission. Alright, now here I need to provide 25 samples of my voice. To do that, I'll just click on here, click on my desktop. Under the voice samples, I have 25 samples of my voice that I recorded. So I'm just going to copy all 25 of them, or select all 25 of them and click on open. Okay, so it already uploaded all of them. We have 25 out of 25 samples ready, and we can proceed to the next option, which is labels. Now, you can set up labels by clicking on the plus sign, and labels are simply just attributes or descriptions of the voice that you're generating. For the purposes of this lecture, I'm just going to leave this empty because we just want to hear the voice as soon as possible. I already provided the samples, so it should generate a pretty accurate voice from this. Let's click on this to agree with terms of services and privacy policy, and let me click on add voice. This might take a minute or two to finish. And here it is. Here is Alexa 3 voice. We can use it right now. So let's go back to speech synthesis, select text to speech, and under the settings, I'm just going to select my own voice, which we just created, which is Alexa 3. I'll select it right here. I won't be changing the voice settings or the model settings. The only thing that I'm going to give it is a bigger script. So to do that, I can just lower this page, navigate to my voice samples, and here I also have text samples. I'm going to open this and copy the first text. So this would be an example of a phishing email. It would be an example of an email that requests all the employees to download a new software from the attachments which they need for their company. So let's see how this will sound in my own voice. We close this, go back to speech synthesis, and here I'm going to paste the entire script. For it to be believable, I cannot have generic greetings, so I need to just type some name. Let's say there is an employee in the company named John, and John is going to receive this message pronounced with my own voice. So let's generate it. I'll click on generate, and as soon as it's done, it should autoplay the message. Let's wait for it to finish. Dear John, I hope this message finds you well. we have a critical situation that requires your immediate attention. As you know, maintaining the security and efficiency of our systems is of utmost importance. To that end, we have identified a vital software update that must be tested and implemented as soon as possible to safeguard our operations and data. Okay, so it sounds quite good. Now, of course, if you focus really, you can hear that it's a little bit weird, but that is just because this is instant voice cloning. If it was professional voice cloning, it would have been much better. But this is also pretty good. We just uploaded some samples of my own voice, and it managed to read this entire script, which, keep in mind, I never said any of this, and read it in my own voice. Let's listen for like 30-40 more seconds to hear how the rest of it sounds like. We need every member of our team to contribute to this effort. The success of this test depends on your active participation. Your role in this process is crucial, and your dedication to this task is highly appreciated. Here are the steps to follow. Click the link below to download the software. After downloading, please install the software on your work computer. If you face any issues during installation, reach out to our IT support immediately. You should thoroughly test the software for any anomalies, bugs, or performance issues. Be sure to report your findings promptly. Provide feedback regarding your experience, including any concerns or suggestions, by tomorrow. We understand that this request comes with a sense of urgency, but it's essential to ensure the security and efficiency of our systems. Okay, that would be about it. Let's not wait for it to read the entire script. I believe you get the point. It reads really well, even though it doesn't sound exactly the same like me, but it does do a good job of copying and cloning my voice. Now, if you want to test out this tool, you can subscribe to 11 Labs, and you can wait for your professional voice to come in 2 to 3 weeks. Then you can use it for whichever purpose you want. Just make sure that those purposes are ethical and that you're only using the voice that you have permission to use, or that you're using simply just your own voice. Okay, let's not make this lecture any longer. We saw a pretty cool example of cloning my own voice, and in the next lecture, I'm going to show you another tool that can do voice cloning. See you there. Welcome back. In the last lecture, we saw a cool example of cloning my own voice with a tool called 11 Labs. And in this lecture, we're going to see a similar example of making a voice clone with Resemble AI tool. Now, since we already saw an example of voice cloning, we're just going to quickly go over this tool just to have some variety of which tools you can use. So type in resemble.ai and click on resemble.ai. Let me open this tool, and once again you want to create an account. I already have an account, so I'm just going to log in. And once I'm logged in, this will be the page that it will open. So here I can just type whichever text I want the AI voice to say. Of course, I can also upload my voice and make it read the text, but for that you once again need the subscription to this tool. But once you get the subscription, it works pretty much the same as it did with 11 Labs. So just to test this tool, you can go under the voices, select whichever voice you want, let's say Samantha, English United States, and type here the text that you want. So I can type, let's say, hello, today is Wednesday, and I have to go to work. Let's just do a simple one sentence.
Hello, today is Wednesday and I have to go to work.
Okay, so it said it in a different voice. Now, here, unfortunately, you're limited to only 280 characters with the free version, so you're not able to add too much of text here. Now, this right here is a simple editor. You also have the full editor, which you go to by clicking on this button right here. And it will open a completely different window where you will be able to add several other options. So once again, we have speech-to-speech option. You remember it from 11 Labs. It means converting recordings of a voice into a synthetic version of the target voice that you want to clone. So you would do that by simply just clicking right here, selecting the voice, and writing the text here. We already know how it goes, so we do not need to do it. If you want to experiment, give a try to this tool, select the voice that you want, or upload your own voice and write the text that you want it to pronounce. Nonetheless, let's not make this lecture any longer, and let's get straight into the next one. Hello, and welcome back. So by far, we saw two different tools that are used for voice cloning. We even saw in the 11 labs how we can clone my own voice and have it read whatever we provide it to. But now let's also take a look at how deepfakes are created and how we can create a video of someone saying something that we provided as a text. Alright, so the tool that I'm going to show you is called d-id. You can find it at this link, which is d-id.com. Once you open up this page, you want to create an account, and once again, I already have an account, so I'm just going to click on login. And once you log in, this menu right here will pop up, and you can select a new video by clicking on plus videos, and you will have several different avatars which you can use. You can also generate an AI presenter instead. Now here is the usual part where the script goes, so here you would type in whatever you want, or you could upload an audio which you want the AI avatar to say. Now we are going to go with the script this time, so here, let me just go back to my samples, and under the text samples, I will take a script, which is this one, and I will paste it right here. So the script says, "Hi, please download the software sent to you in the link attachments. There we have important security updates which are necessary for our company. Please do it as soon as possible. It is urgent." Okay, so this is our script, and we can select the language right here, as well as the voice right here. So you would select, for example, Jane, and you would select the style in which you want this sentence to be pronounced in. Once you have all of your settings set, you just confirm, and then you go on generate video. Once you generate the video, it will take a couple of minutes, and you should see it under home in recent projects. Let's listen to how it sounds like.
Hi, please download the software sent to you in the link attachments. There we have important security updates which are necessary for our company. Please do it as soon as possible. It is urgent.
Okay, so it doesn't look too realistic. But keep in mind, these tools just started coming out, and with time passing, whether it being months or years or weeks, this will get better and better, and pretty soon you won't be able to tell the difference between a deepfake and a real video. So we chose an AI avatar, we provided it text that we want our AI avatar to say, and it ended up sounding like this. Let's watch it once again.
Hi, please download the software sent to you in the link attachments. There we have important security updates which are necessary for our company. Please do it as soon as possible. It is urgent.
Okay, so it's still pretty cool, right? We managed to create a deepfake. Now, this tool, if you want to use to its full potential, you will once again have to subscribe to it. I used all my free credits. You should be able to recreate what I did with your free credits on a new account. And if you decide that you need it for anything more, you can simply just go on pricing and check the subscription for the tool. Another tool you can use to create deepfakes is this one. But this is also a subscription-based tool. However, you can test it with a free video by clicking on this button, selecting which type of video template you want. So there are 3 different ones. If you don't have a business email, you will have to go with the complement one. And here you can type 2 to 3 sentences, which this guy will then say in a deepfake video. It will ask you for your email address, and once you provide it, it will send the video to your email address where you will be able to download it and view it. Now these are the 2 different tools used for AI video generating. or simply just generating fake videos with AI avatars that pronounce our written text. Choose whichever one you prefer, and if you find any of these tools useful, you can continue using it for whatever purpose you want, as long as it's ethical. So once again, just to mention, do not use any voice or avatar of a person that you don't have permission to use. The best thing is to test it out with your own avatar and your own voice. Nonetheless, let's not make this any longer, and let's get straight into the next lecture. Welcome back. Let's see an example of using ChatGPT to write an email in someone else's style. And for this particular lesson, we're going to use an example of Luca. So what I'm going to show you is how I can make an email that will be in Luca's style by just using his LinkedIn profile. Now, many of you probably already have a pretty good idea of how we're going to do this. So this is Luca's LinkedIn page, and here he has a bunch of posts. What we're going to do is we're going to provide some of these text posts to ChatGPT and make ChatGPT read through all of those posts and then write an email on a certain topic. Let's see how that will look like. Now, in reality, the more posts we provide, the better. But what we're going to do in this lecture is we're just going to provide one single post and see how well ChatGPT does. So let's scroll for a post that has a bunch of text in it. Let's try this one. If I click on see more, this post right here has 3 paragraphs. If I copy all of it and go back to ChatGPT, what I can do is I can tell ChatGPT this: write me an email to an employee that needs to let all employees know about new software that they should download from the email attachments. So let's just type from the attachments and do it in my style of writing. Take my style from this post. And here we're going to add quotes and paste the entire post that we took from Luca's LinkedIn profile. Let's see how well it does. Awesome, we got an output back. We got this email template that ChatGPT gave us based on this provided text, and it also did the subject that we told it to write: exciting new software for our team. Now you can already see some of the similarities, such as, for example, Luca used this emoji in his post, and we can see it right here in the email. The post itself probably mimics this way of writing in one way or another. Now it is important to know that we just provided one text. The more text you provide, the more accurate ChatGPT will be in mimicking someone else's style of writing. You can already see how this can be dangerous. You can write in anyone's style just by providing some text samples from that person. And this is something that can be both a good and a bad thing. We can see how this can be used in social engineering attacks to make them more believable. Nonetheless, I just wanted to quickly show you this. Give it a try if you want, see how it works for you. Copy some of your emails or a different post from a social media account and see whether ChatGPT will be able to write in your style. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next lecture. The reality is that phishing attacks and social engineering attacks are going nowhere, as they are here to stay for a long time. That is why it is important that everyone is familiar with basic detection methods and ways as to how you can figure out when a phishing attack is taking place. Now, whether the phishing attack is in the form of a voice call, an email, or a video makes little difference, since all of them will at the end ask you for either some type of important information, or they will ask you to download some file from the attachments and run it. So let us list out some of the steps that you can take to check whether you are being phished or not. One of the things that you can do is first check the sender's email. you can look closely at the sender's email address. Phishers often use email addresses that resemble legitimate ones but have slight variations or misspellings. Misspelling in the email address itself is usually a dead giveaway that it is a phishing attack taking place. Also, if you receive an unexpected email asking for sensitive information, be wary. Legitimate organizations usually don't request personal or financial information via email. Another small but important thing that you should keep an eye on is that phishing emails often use generic solutions like "Dear Customer" instead of addressing you by name. Legitimate organizations typically personalize their emails. I have seen this mostly in PayPal phishing attacks, since PayPal, for example, greets you with your real name, but the phishing emails that appear to come from PayPal will write something along the lines of "Dear Customer," since their phishing attacks are most likely widely spammed to hundreds of other emails as well. More things to do with phishing emails is to always check for any suspicious links. You can hover your mouse over any links in the email to see where they will lead. Be cautious if the link URL doesn't match the legitimate website domain, as this is another dead giveaway that a phishing website is being used. For example, you might get an email that appears to be coming from PayPal customer support that leads to a link to a page that looks exactly like PayPal, but upon link inspection, you might see that the domain is not paypal.com, but rather paypal.com with 2 L's. This would be enough to know that it is a phishing email. Also, if the email has too good to be true offers, you should always be skeptical. Phishing emails may promise unbelievable deals or prizes to lure you in. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. But this is not always the case. So to check this, it is best to contact the organization using official contact information to verify the request's legitimacy. Another important thing is to not open the attachment files unless you're certain that it comes from a legitimate source. Attachment files could contain malware that could, for example, open a backdoor on your system and allow the attacker access to your PC and all of your data. These would be some of the basic steps of finding out whether a phishing attack is taking place. But when it comes to AI phishing attacks, there are several other methods which you can consider. These would include things like analyzing message style and grammar. AI-generated messages may have more consistent grammar and writing style compared to human-written messages, which means they will lack typical errors. However, this isn't always the case, as some AI can replicate human-like writing. Also be wary of unusually fast responses. AI can respond almost instantaneously, unlike humans who typically take some time to compose messages. If you receive extremely fast response, it could be a sign of AI involvement. Also verify the identity of the sender, as AI phishing attacks often impersonate trusted individuals or organizations. Always verify the identity of the sender through a different trusted channel, such as, for example, through a phone number or from the official website. And also examine the level of personalization, as phishing AI may use limited personal information. However, it might not be as effective in mimicking someone's writing style or personal history as a human would be. You should also be cautious of something called hyper-personalization. While some AI-generated messages lack personalization, others might overdo it. Be skeptical if the message is overly flattering or appears too tailored to your preferences. Alright, now some of the technical ways that you can use to prevent phishing attacks from working are enabling email filtering and using antivirus and anti-phishing software to automatically detect and block phishing attempts. Same goes for AI phishing. Some cybersecurity tools and email services offer AI-based phishing detection. These tools can help identify AI-generated phishing attempts. And lastly, remember that the most important thing is to educate yourself on these attacks, same way we did in this section. This should be done regularly, as continuous education is essential to recognizing evolving attacks. Alright, now that would be about it for this section, and later throughout the course we will actually dive deeper into email filtering, into phishing attacks, and into social engineering itself. Thank you for watching this lecture, and I will see you in the next one. Alright, let's talk about AI-based SIEM systems. But before we mention some, let's first discuss what even is a SIEM system. We can say that a SIEM, which stands for Security Information and Event Management System, is a comprehensive cybersecurity solution designed to provide real-time monitoring, analysis, and management of security events within an organization's IT infrastructure. SIEM systems are critical tools for improving an organization's security posture and enhancing its ability to detect and respond to security threats and incidents. Implementing a SIEM system is a significant undertaking and typically requires a dedicated team of cybersecurity professionals to configure, monitor, and respond to alerts. It is an essential component of an organization's cybersecurity strategy. Now, some of the things that SIEM systems are responsible for include, let's say, data collection. SIEM systems collect vast amounts of security-related data from various sources within the IT environment, such as network devices, servers, operating systems, applications, and security tools. This data can include log files, event data, and other relevant information. SIEM systems can also provide real-time monitoring and alerting capabilities. For example, security analysts can configure the system to trigger alerts when specific predefined conditions or patterns are detected. These alerts can be based on known attack signatures, or they can be simply just deviations from established baselines. Another use case of SIEM systems is data analysis and reporting. SIEM systems analyze the correlated data to generate reports and visual dashboards that provide insights into organizations' security posture. These reports can help security teams identify vulnerabilities, incidents, or compliance issues. Let's also not forget incident management. These systems facilitate the management of security incidents by providing workflows and tools for incident detection, investigation, and response. They can help streamline the incident response process. And last, let's mention log management, which is another thing that we can use SIEM systems for, as they include log management capabilities, which allows companies to store, analyze, and manage log data. Some SIEM systems also incorporate UEBA to monitor user and entity behavior, identifying deviations from normal behavior patterns. This helps in detecting insider threats and compromised accounts. Alright, these are some of the things that SIEM systems are responsible for. And we know the traditional SIEM systems have long been used in cybersecurity for all the previously mentioned things, but now that artificial intelligence is taking place, we are also introduced with AI-based SIEM systems. AI-based SIEM is an advanced form of security information and event management that uses the capabilities of artificial intelligence and machine learning to solve many of the challenges that traditional SIEM systems had, and also to do previously mentioned tasks more efficiently. Some of the things that AI-driven SIEM systems have as components are machine learning and pattern recognition. Machine learning and pattern recognition empower SIEM to gain insights from historical security data and patterns, which simply allows it to identify irregularities and possible security risks that conventional SIEM systems, which solely relied on signatures and log source criticalities, could overlook. Now, other things that AI-driven SIEM systems have are automated incident response, predictive analytics, and overall automated functions. Some other benefits of using AI-driven SIEM system compared to the traditional one would include, as we mentioned, automated detection, which means that these systems can automatically detect and respond to threats by recognizing patterns and anomalies, reducing the reliance on manual intervention. We have real-time insights, as these SIEM systems provide more real-time insights and can swiftly adapt to new attack vectors without requiring frequent rule updates. And reducing false positives, which happens with the help of advanced analytics, as AI-based SIEMs tend to produce fewer false positives, making it easier for security teams to just focus on genuine threats. And let's finish off this lecture by mentioning some of the examples of AI-driven SIEM systems, which are Microsoft Azure Sentinel. This is a cloud-native SIEM that provides intelligent security analytics for the entire enterprise, and it's also powered by artificial intelligence. We also have Fortinet's FortiSIEM, which protects against both known and unknown threats. It is combined with the latest AI-driven behavior anomaly detection capabilities, such as user and entity behavior analysis. And for the end, let's mention Darktrace, which is an AI-powered cybersecurity platform that utilizes machine learning and AI algorithms to detect and respond to cyber threats in real time. So you get the point. AI-based SIEM system is definitely better than traditional one, but it still has a lot of developing to go through. Nonetheless, let's not make this lecture any longer, and let's go straight into the next lecture. In the last lecture, we talked about traditional SIEM systems as well as AI-driven SIEM systems, and we mentioned what were the differences and what are the benefits of using the AI-driven SIEM systems. And now, let us do the same just for firewalls. First of all, what are firewalls? Firewalls are network security devices or software applications designed to monitor and control incoming and outgoing network traffic based on predefined security rules. They act as a barrier between a trusted internal network and untrusted external networks to protect against unauthorized access, cyber attacks, and the spread of malware. Firewalls are considered a fundamental component of network security and play a critical role in safeguarding digital assets. There are several different types of firewalls which you might encounter. These include host-based firewalls, and host-based firewalls are simply just firewalls located on an endpoint device and are usually built into the operating system. They are used to set rules for traffic for that endpoint device. An example of host-based firewall would be Windows host-based firewall. Now, besides just host-based firewalls, we also have network-based firewalls. This is typically a hardware device on the network that is used to filter the network's traffic. Now, these two are the main division of firewalls, but there are other types of firewalls which you might encounter, such as new generation firewalls, web application firewalls, and unified threat management firewalls, and so on and so on. But what interests us the most are not the firewall types, but rather what are the differences between traditional firewalls and AI-driven firewalls. Well, first, let's mention some characteristics of traditional firewalls. Traditional firewalls have limited intelligence. They lack the advanced intelligence and learning capabilities of AI-driven firewalls. They cannot adapt to evolving threats or detect anomalies without explicit rules. Also, traditional firewalls use rule-based or static policies to filter network traffic. These rules are typically defined by network administrators and are based on criteria like IP addresses, port numbers, and protocols. Administrators must manually configure and maintain these rule sets. And of course, this process requires a deep understanding of network traffic and security requirements, making it resource-intensive and potentially error-prone. Firewalls are also used for packet filtering. They primarily use packet filtering techniques to inspect and control traffic. This approach examines individual packets without considering the state or context of the connection. Now, here we can talk about another division of firewalls, which you might also encounter, and those are stateful and stateless firewalls. Stateful firewalls actually monitor and keep track of state of the active network connections, as well as analyze incoming traffic and look for potential risks, while stateless firewall just determines whether a packet should be allowed or denied based on the rules that are set. It doesn't keep track of the active network connections, and it doesn't perform deep packet inspection. But we can say with certainty that AI-driven firewalls solve many of the traditional firewall issues. AI-driven firewalls are dynamic and adaptive. This means they leverage artificial intelligence and machine learning to adapt and respond dynamically to emerging threats and evolving network behavior. Another very useful thing that AI firewalls can do is perform automatic learning. AI-driven firewalls learn from historical data and can continuously update their threat intelligence, reducing the need for manual rule updates. They also have better protection against unknown threats, which means they are especially good at protecting against zero-day attacks, as they don't rely solely on predefined signatures or rules. Another good thing about them is that they have enhanced real-time protection. They offer real-time threat detection and response, often without requiring any human intervention, which is crucial in the face of rapidly evolving threats. Now, unlike many basic traditional firewalls, AI-driven firewalls are also context-aware. These firewalls offer enhanced context awareness, considering the entire communication session and the content of the data being transferred. This enables them to make more informed decisions about network traffic. In summary, AI-driven firewalls offer a more proactive and intelligent approach to network security, providing better protection against emerging threats and reducing the need for manual rule management. Traditional firewalls, while still widely used, may struggle to keep up with the rapidly changing threat landscape without continuous human intervention and rule updates. This refers to next-generation firewalls as well. Now, next-generation firewalls struggles with rapidly mutating threats, it stumbles in extensive attacks, and also its maintenance is quite stressful. And in today's age, next-generation firewalls are severely challenged by increasingly complex security situations, while AI brings new opportunities for enterprise firewalls. This means that next-generation firewalls should embrace AI and evolve into the artificial intelligence firewalls. Email filtering is an important part of any organization's cybersecurity strategy. You might be asking why? Well, if you remember, the number one threat online are still phishing attacks. And phishing attacks are mostly being done over emails. But how does AI work with email filtering exactly? And how does it filter out spam emails or phishing emails? Well, it looks for emails that signal red flags such as malicious IP addresses and URLs, suspicious keywords, distrustful attachments or embedded content, inconsistent grammar, syntax and spelling, such as, for example, using symbols and numbers as letters, and excessive use of special characters or emojis. These red flags could trigger the algorithm to move the email into spam. Now keep in mind that not every algorithm is the same, so what might be a red flag for one algorithm might not be a red flag for another. In general, AI email filtering performs several functions, which are spam detection, phishing detection, malware detection, categorization and prioritization, and content analysis, as well as adaptive learning. To be able to do all of this, it leverages several AI filtering algorithms to execute precise judgments. These filtering algorithms include similarity-based algorithm, in which filters compare incoming emails with pre-existing emails stored in servers. We also have sample-based algorithm, which uses templates of legitimate and non-legitimate spam emails that allows AI to assess new emails based on those templates. And we have the adaptive algorithm, and this algorithm reacts over time to adjust data categories. It separates emails in different categories and compares potential spam against these more specialized categories. Alright, now it is also important to understand the act of filtering with AI presents certain risks, as AI may misclassify secure emails as unsafe or vice versa. For instance, Malicious spam or phishing emails often go to great lengths to imitate or exploit the appearance of trustworthy and familiar email sources, and that is why it is possible for well-crafted emails to bypass the email filter. Now, it's also important to note that false negatives are much more dangerous than false positives. This is simply because when there is a false positive, this means there is a legitimate email that was flagged as spam or phishing. But when there is a false negative, this means that there was a phishing email which was flagged as legitimate email and it was led through the filter. You can see why this is more dangerous. Also, while some AI-driven spam filters can alert recipients when they block a potential threat, the future will likely involve AI collaborating with human analysts to gain additional insights. In the context of spam filtering, it may be necessary to establish guidelines that enable AI to question its own decisions. Currently, AI systems might validate an email that appears to originate from a legitimate source, but is in fact spam sent from a hacker's highly trained algorithm. Over time, AI-powered spam filters may become more finely tuned to detect nonsense, thereby reducing false positives and identifying cases where hackers employ social engineering techniques in their spam distribution. To address these issues, it's essential to strike a balance between security and usability when configuring AI email filters. Make sure to regularly review and fine-tune the system and allow users to provide feedback on misclassified emails, as well as ensure that there is a process for handling false positives and negatives. Additionally, combining AI filtering with other security measures like user awareness training can help mitigate some of these challenges. Alright, we will talk more about spam filters and email filters in one of the future sections, and we will actually even have a coding project where we will see how to practically apply artificial intelligence into spam filtering. Nonetheless, let's not make this any longer and let's move on to the next lecture. Identity and access management is a big topic, and along with the AI, there are two rapidly growing fields that are transforming the way organizations make their IT environments. But as usual, before we talk about AI implementation in identity and access management, let us first define what that really is. Identity and access management is a set of processes and technologies used to manage user identities and control access to IT resources within an organization. IAM systems help ensure that users have the appropriate level of access to the right resources at the right time, while also maintaining security, compliance, and auditability. By this definition, we can all agree that identity and access management is quite important, especially in bigger organizations. It determines who will have access to certain assets, and by doing that, it keeps a level of security from unauthorized access. However, this task is not that easy, especially with the increasing complexity of IT environments. This is why IAM systems are facing new challenges in terms of scalability, performance, and security. Luckily, AI is here to help and take identity and access management to the next level. So where exactly is AI being used with identity and access management? Well, there are several use cases. Let's list them out. We have user authentication, which can be applied in biometric authentication, as AI enables biometric authentication methods such as facial recognition, fingerprint scanning, and voice recognition. These methods offer a high level of security and convenience. Instead of identifying access based on a password or PIN code, which can be discovered by a security breach or which can be rather weak, we can use facial recognition and a fingerprint scanning, which is unique for each person, so that only the person that we want to have access to certain asset or data can access that data. We also have behavioral analytics, so user behavior analysis is when AI algorithms analyze user behavior patterns to detect anomalies. If someone's behavior deviates significantly from their typical patterns, it can trigger alerts for potential security threats. This is much more efficient when done with AI, as artificial intelligence can learn others' behavior much faster than a person would, as well as it can detect much faster if someone's behavior changes. Let's not forget risk-based access control. AI can assess the risk associated with specific access requests. It considers various factors such as the user's location, device, time, and historical behavior in order to grant or deny access to that user. You know that time when you try to log into your account and you're required to input some additional information or additional digit code because you're logging in from a different location or from a different device. Well, AI can be used in this type of risk assessment where it will try to determine the likelihood of that being you or someone else who possibly stole your account credentials and now is trying to log in. This is why AI can be used in multi-factor authentication as well. AI can assist in implementing adaptive multi-factor authentication where the authentication methods required may change based on the perceived risk level. And lastly, let's mention password management, since AI can be used in password strength analysis by evaluating the strength of passwords and enforcing strong password policies. This includes password reset assistance, as we can use AI-driven chatbots which can assist users in resetting forgotten passwords securely. Now, these are just some of the things that AI can improve and make more fast and more efficient compared to traditional ways of how these things were done. Of course, this is nowhere near to being perfect yet, and there are potential issues or security risks with AI implementation in identity and access management. These risks would include false positives, false negatives, privacy concerns, and security vulnerabilities. AI itself can become a target for malicious actors. For example, if an attacker gains control over AI system in identity and access management, they can manipulate the access control or carry out more sophisticated attacks. They could potentially grant access to everyone to a specific asset like a server. The risks also include ethical concerns, as the use of AI in identity and access management can raise ethical questions, especially regarding the balance between security and user privacy. Decisions made by AI algorithms may not always align with the organization's ethical standards. And there are always the training and maintenance costs. Developing, training, and maintaining AI-based identity and access management systems can be costly and resource-intensive, especially for smaller organizations. Now, to conclude, incorporating AI into IAM systems can significantly enhance security and user experience. However, it's important to deploy AI in identity and access management thoughtfully with attention to privacy, data security, and potential biases in AI algorithms. Now, data bias in AI algorithms is something that we will talk about later in the course. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, we got one more topic to talk about inside of this section, and that would be AI usage in intrusion detection and intrusion prevention systems. Alright, one final thing to talk about when it comes to cybersecurity tools and their AI implementations. We got IDS and IPS. These are pretty important in secure network environments, so let us first define what they are. IDS stands for Intrusion Detection System. IDS is a monitoring solution for detecting cybersecurity threats to an organization. If a potential intrusion is detected, the IDS generates an alert that notifies security personnel to investigate the incident and take immediate action. Now, when it comes to IDS, we have two main types. We have HIDS and NIDS. HIDS stands for Host Intrusion Detection System, and it is only used to detect potential threats and security risks on an endpoint device or a host, while NIDS stands for Network Intrusion Detection System, and it is set at the network level, allowing it to identify threats on the entire network. IPS, on the other hand, stands for Intrusion Prevention System. It is an active protection system. Now, Like the IDS, it attempts to identify potential threats based upon monitoring features of a protected host or network and can use signature, anomaly, or hybrid detection methods. However, unlike an IPS takes action to block or remediate an identified threat. While an IPS may raise an alert, it also helps to prevent the intrusion from occurring. So now that we know what they are, how exactly does AI make IDS or IPS better? Or even better question would be, does it make it better at all? Well, same as with other tools, AI can help in certain complex processes and make them more fast and efficient. For example, combining IDS and AI for autonomous systems offers a wide range of benefits. By monitoring, detecting, and responding to malicious activity, autonomous systems leverage the power of machine learning and AI to improve network security. With AI-enhanced IDS, you can quickly detect suspicious activity and respond with analytics-driven insights that help you automate your security processes. Moreover, autonomous systems provide faster incident response times since they are able to process data more rapidly than by using manual methods. This minimizes the risk of breach exposure by detecting threats earlier and responding more quickly than ever before. Not only does this ensure more secure systems, but it also reduces operational costs as there is less manual work involved in handling incidents. Some other reasons AI makes IDS and IPS better include things like anomaly detection, where AI-powered IDS/IPS can analyze network traffic and user behavior to establish a baseline. When deviations from this baseline occur, it can trigger alerts or take actions to mitigate potential intrusions. We also have real-time threat detection, as AI systems can analyze data in real time, allowing for rapid detection of emerging threats that traditional signature-based methods might miss. Another good use case is in reducing false positives, since machine learning can help reduce the number of false alarms by understanding the context of network events and distinguishing between benign and malicious activities. However, this depends on how the model was trained. If the model is not trained properly or on the correct data, it can actually have the opposite effect of increasing the number of false positives. Now, AI can also have automated responses for IPS, so for intrusion prevention systems, AI can be used to not only detect intrusions but also take automated actions to block or isolate malicious activity, preventing any further damage. And lastly, we have zero-day attack detection. AI can identify zero-day attacks by recognizing previously unknown attack patterns based on behavior analysis and threat intelligence. Zero-day attack is an attack that exploits a previously unknown hardware, firmware, or software vulnerability. AI is particularly well suited for this task due to its ability to analyze behavior and patterns in data, making it capable of identifying previously unknown attack techniques. But, of course, as with other security tools that we talked about, there are the bad sides of AI implementation, which for IDS and IPS would include, once again, false positives and false negatives. AI-based IDS and IPS may produce false positives, triggering alerts for benign activities, or they can also produce false negatives, which is failing to detect real threats. That's why over-reliance on AI for decision-making can lead to security gaps or unnecessary disruptions. We have adversarial attacks, which are used by sophisticated attackers that deliberately craft attacks to evade AI detection by identifying and exploiting vulnerabilities or weaknesses in the AI models. Data privacy concerns is another big topic, as implementing AI in IDS and IPS may require the analysis of sensitive network and user data, which then raises privacy concerns and potential legal and compliance issues. Nobody wants their own data being accessed by someone else, not even the AI tool, especially not wanting AI to disclose some private information or data which shouldn't be known by someone else. And remember, in the last lecture we mentioned data bias as one of the problems or weaknesses that could occur with machine learning and artificial intelligence, as AI models are only as good as the data that they are trained on. Biased training data can lead to biased or inaccurate threat detection, disproportionately impacting certain groups or types of threats. This could end up making IDS and IPS detect everything but the things that they actually need to detect, which is malicious software or cyber attacks. This is why implementing the model must be done carefully and must be tested multiple times before it actually starts being used. And there is one more security risk which can be applied to all the security tools that use AI, which is limited human oversight. Over-reliance on AI might reduce the level of human involvement in security decision-making, which can be risky, as human judgment and context are often essential in complex security incidents. Alright, these would be some of the risks, and in order to mitigate these risks, organizations should implement AI in IDS and IPS systems thoughtfully. This means conduct regular audits and combine AI-based threat detection with other security measures to create a defense in-depth strategy. Training and educating security personnel about the capabilities and limitations of AI-based systems are also crucial for effective and responsible use of AI in security.